Alright, just a reminder to everybody that is new to my channel and that finds this YouTube video. You see them blue barrels? From more or less them blue barrels all the way down to there and further is, I want that entire side covered in bushes and trees. Just like, give me a moment. If I could pause the video, I would, but there is no pause on this phone for some reason. You see this entire fence line? You see where the darn bushes practically just stop? Alright? I want that entire line of bushes to keep going all the way up to the road. You know, I don't want that entire line, cut down. I want to be overgrown. I want that entire bush line to be overgrown. And if there's any trees, I want them to grow tall enough where they can shade that portion of the yard. You know, partly because them chickens are stuck in the middle of the fucking sun, especially in the summertime. On top of that, if my, good friend Roger, if my good friend Roger Cox decided that he wanted to mow my yard, all right, my yard, then he should help me out with mowing all of this, not just that tiny little speck up there, which he always does, because that darn trash fence line, which should have, here's the thing. Before Roger Cox bought that place back in 2020, there was a wooden fence line where that trash fence line now lies. So Roger Cox took that down so he could get to the, and if y'all remember, back in 2020, the entire fence line was covered in bushes. A nice good thicket went all along that fence line. So, but I don't have any, I don't have that many subscribers that knows that. You know, when I, like back in 2020 and 2019, that entire fence line was covered in very tall pine trees. Pine trees, thick bushes, hedge bushes and whatnot. And half the yard would be shaded. Now, the thing is, like I said, you know, there used to be a fence, the fence line used to went all the way up to the road. A portion of it went, was, a wooden fence line, like a, like that over there, but over there. So, a privacy fence, yes, that's what it's called. There was a privacy fence going from that corner all the way up to the darn, road where the trash fence line now lies. And Roger Cox hasn't replaced that fence line yet. He's the one that took it down, and he still hasn't replaced it. Those wooden beams is his doing. That used to be a proper fence, but he decided to throw together a cheap fucking bullshit fence. And, you know, Roger Cox also put those logs in the backyard. Those logs used to be pine trees that were standing. I had no problem with the pine trees. I didn't care about the pine trees and whether or not they fell in this yard or not. You know? Christ. Anyway, but he left them logs in. Those logs been sitting there since 2020. And before anyone says anything, that tractor hasn't worked in freaking years. 10 years, in fact. So, yeah. Put it bluntly and simply, you know, all of the problems I have ever had, of late is from Roger Cox. Alright? He's not a good person. And if you made it this far in the video, congrats. You're actually somebody that actually gives a damn about understanding the situation. And not a simple minded asshole that just likes to type in, oh, your place looks disgusting. You live a terrible life. Ha ha ha. I know it's disgusting, but, yes, I'm physically capable of doing something about it. Physically doesn't mean I'm economically, you know. And I'll show y'all my darn wallet. I've showed y'all it once. I'll show it to y'all again. And if need be, I'll show it to y'all at least once or twice a week to get the fucking point across. But anywho, end of story. You have a blessed day and stop being arrogant.